the one, the only, Ben
Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, Iyun Tolina, and today we're doing Simon Reish Mem Tet and Shulchan Aruch Yom Hilchos Shabbos. One of the halachas, halacha beis, discusses: are you allowed to have a big meal on Erev Shabbos? So they recommend not having a big meal, having a wedding meal or an engagement party on Erev Shabbos, a big meal. What's the reason you can't? Even the whole day you can't have it. Why not? So the Shulchan Aruch says the reason, and they cover the Shabbos. She comes to Shabbos shu toiv le'echol. You want to make sure you have an appetite for Oneg Shabbos. Oneg Shabbos is a mitzvah. At least for divrei Chazal, for divrei Nevi'im, it's a mitzvah. The Torah doesn't say mitzvah Oneg Shabbos, but the Nevi'im talk about it. The Gemara talks about it. So there's a mitzvah Oneg Shabbos. You don't want to be full when you go into Shabbos. You want to have an appetite. Okay, now first of all, the Magen Avraham argues, and he says the reason Kavod Shabbos is not that you should have an appetite, is because if you're engaged in a fancy meal, you're not going to have time to prepare adequately for Shabbos, because you're so busy, which has nothing to do with an appetite. At the end of Siv Beis, he says, to have a normal meal, the whole day is mutter, even the Shulchan Aruch acknowledges that it's only a mitzvah, meaning lechatchila, maybe it's some sort of chumrah. I believe it's a chumrah that from 9 hours and on you shouldn't have even a regular meal. Now, if you look in the beginning of Arvei Pesachim, it talks about erev Pesach, samach lemincha, mincha ktana, which is 9 hours into the day. You shouldn't have a regular meal. You can have fruits and vegetables, but you can't have a regular meal. Why not? Because the Gemara says you should go into Pesach with a tayavon, with an appetite. Why? Rashi explains for the mitzvah of matzah, right? There's a mitzvah of matzah. You should want to have an appetite. It's part of Hiddur mitzvah. You should have an appetite for it. Now, according to the Shulchan Aruch, the reason is sort of the same. You shouldn't have a big meal because then you won't be hungry on Shabbos. But even the Shulchan Aruch, first of all, the Magen Avraham says that's not the reason. Kavod Shabbos is something else. You won't have time to prepare for Shabbos. And even the Shulchan Aruch himself says it's only a mitzvah from 9 hours not to have a regular meal. But Mikar, then you could have a regular meal. Even 2 minutes before Shabbos, you could. So you see that even according to the Shulchan Aruch, it's not exactly like matzah on Arvei Pesachim. So what is the distinction? Why don't we say, just like by mitzvah of matzah, you should go in with an appetite, also for Shabbos, mitzvah Oneg Shabbos, you should go in with an appetite. And this is where I like to, I was introduced to a new concept because I'm on a diet right now. And I've lost close to 20 pounds in the last month and a half since I came back from America. And the way I'm doing it, basically, is just eating half. Eating 4 Oreos in the morning, I eat 2 Oreos in the morning. The same milk, the same orange juice, but, for lunch, instead of 2 plates of pasta, good pasta with sauce and cheese, but only 1 plate instead of 2 plates. Last night we had baby chicken. Instead of having 6 pieces of baby chicken, I had 3 pieces of baby chicken, some cauliflower on the side. So it was pretty good, the baked cauliflower. So, just eat half of whatever I'm eating. And it's really worked. I tried for past year, I was trying to exercise, to run, to play basketball. I was sprinting. I didn't lose any weight because I was eating normally. So it's funny that I really learned to lose weight. But one interesting thing what came out of this, something I didn't expect, is that when you eat less, food tastes good. I don't know, when you're eating a lot of food at one time, say 2 plates of pasta, the first bite tastes good, and the last bite maybe tastes good. The rest, you have no idea what's going. But when you eat a little amount, 2 Oreos, 1 plate of pasta, you enjoy every bite. Because there's a difference in achila and te'ima, tasting and eating. If you go to any fancy restaurant, they don't have these Michelin restaurants among Jewish places, but hopefully one day I'll introduce Michelin stars to the Jewish culinary world. They have it's a prefix menu. It's basically, it's not a la carte. It's a table d'hote, which is table of the host. Where they have a menu. You pay $500 a person, $350 a person, and they give you a 10-course meal. And every meal is a small portion. The fancy restaurants, they give you small portions. Because the real culinary experience is not eating, but it's tasting. Right? That's what's enjoyable at eating. Yes, you want to be satiated, you want to be full, you don't want to walk out of there hungry. But the real enjoyment, right? You have 4 or 5 parts of your taste buds, right? Sweet, sour, salty and bitter. Some say umami is another one. But that's the main part of eating is the tasting. And when you're tasting, when you're not eating so much, you can taste the food. When you're eating a lot, because you're hungry or you want to satiate yourself too much, so you don't taste the food. It's called achila. There's achila and tima and achila. The Gemara talks about it in different places. But I believe that's the difference over here. The mitzvah on Shabbos, Onik Shabbos, is teima. It's not to have a lot of food. There's no mitzvah on Shabbos to scarf down 10 pieces of baked chicken, which are disgusting anyway. To scarf down three plates full of cholent. Mitzvah on Shabbos is taste good food. Barburim, uslav v'dagim. Not gefilte fish. No, salmon, halibut. Good stuff. Not the terrible stuff. You want to taste good food. Duck, barburim, Slav. I don't know what Slav is. Geese or something like that. You have to have good food for joie. Maybe that's what it's talking about. That's the point of Shabbos, to taste. So you can eat a meal up until, technically, the halakha, you can eat a meal 2 seconds before Shabbos. Because that won't preclude you from tasting food. Even if you're full, you'll still enjoy the tasting. But by matzah is in place of bread. That's what bread is for satiation. Most people don't eat bread for the taste of the bread. So therefore, by matzah, there's a mitzvah to have an appetite. You shouldn't eat, so you should enjoy what you can enjoy. There's hanaz garon, hanaz me'ayim, the Gemara discussed this, right? You enjoy the taste. You also enjoy the satiation. So by bread or matzah, the satiation is from being full. So if you ate a regular meal after 9 hours of the day, you're not going to be satiated. You're going to lose the effect of the matzah. However, when it comes to Shabbos, only Shabbos, the mitzvah is to taste good food, to have good culinary experience. And therefore, Mikar Adin, you can have a full meal up until Shabbos. That's what I like to suggest over here. I hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.